Good morning, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investors Channel. My name is Sensei Crypto, and this is my show tonight. It is the Sunday night show, it's the crypto show, it's the chart show. This is a show that will be happening every single week. No matter what happens, we'll be live and covering the crypto markets. We'll be covering the stocks. We'll be looking for the outlook for the next week. Today we do have a giveaway that will be ending in half an hour, so I'll give you one last time the link in the chat. So if you want to do a last minute entry, then please do enter the giveaway and we'll be picking the winner in half an hour. So today we're going to have there's no specific theme for the show. I normally like to have a theme for the show, but today we're just going to have a catch up on the market, see what the stock market's looking like, the outlook for next week. We're going to have a look at crypto, when's the best time to buy, and yeah, I'll share with you my thoughts. We're going to answer your question. Liam Laffey has already asked to look at Solana, so that's what we will start with. So welcome everyone into the show. Hit the like button if you haven't already, and let's get straight into it. So Solana. So I think a lot of you know my thoughts with altcoins. I think altcoins are going to bleed against Bitcoin. I don't think it's the best time to buy altcoins. I think there'll be better opportunities presented, but of course that is not a guarantee. It is just my sentiment. It's the chart sentiment, and that is what I'm thinking. So what we should do is have a look at Solana. So for those of you who don't know, Solana was a coin that I ICO'd in 2020 for around 40 cents. I think it was around that mark. Around between 40 cents and $1 was the day it ICO'd, and then it went on a bull market, just like any other coin, just like any other stock. In 2021, it went on a rampage. It went from 50 cents all the way to $260. So that's basically nearly a 500x. I didn't buy Solana until this period here. I saw this as an accumulation. I bought around the $30 mark, and I sold around 130. So I didn't maximize my gains on this. And I have been out of Solana since September of 2021 at this drop over here. So what we're looking for, just like any crypto, is for this to happen again, but we want our best entries. We'd like to be buying the coins around here or here, and we don't want to be buying them when they're going all the way up. So right now for Solana, we seem to be accumulating. We did have the capitulation when FTX happened. It went all the way nearly to went to $8. It dropped all the way from $37 to $8 in a matter of weeks, and in a matter of days it went from $38 to $11. So crypto can move very fast. It went down 70% in 3 days. So that's just like any other crypto. It can it is volatile, it is risky. You shouldn't put any more than you can afford to lose in a cryptocurrency, and you shouldn't definitely put any money into crypto that you need in the next couple of years. The reason Solana dropped so quickly here was because FTX held a lot of Solana. People were worried about Solana's liquidity, and it was pushed down very low. Since it has recovered nicely to maybe its fair value at the moment, however, it is at a range high. So if we start doing some technical analysis on this, we're looking around here. It's a low, another low, high, and we nearly hit these highs. So it is at a level of sort of resistance / support at the moment because we've broken through and now we're testing. Because Solana has grown very quickly in the last few months because it capitulated so hard, people have already made gains of around 243%. So people might be looking to take profits because they've made money in the bear market, and it's hard to do that during a bear market. So that's one thing to consider. The second thing to consider is this the best point to buy? If you're in the same belief as me and you think something like the ETH to Bitcoin chart, no, where is the ETH? for ETH, BTC. There it is. Let's look at it there. If you're in the belief that you also believe that we are in a structure which looks like we're breaking down, and we have been going down for several weeks now, if you're in the belief that we might get a bounce, but in the next 6 months, next 3 to 6 months, you think that this Ethereum is going to underperform Bitcoin, and altcoins are going to go down compared to Bitcoin, because of risk, because of recession, because of liquidity, because that's normally how the cycles play out. There's another capitulation where Bitcoin doesn't get affected as much as altcoins, and altcoins go down 50, 60, 70% from the levels they are now, then it's not a great time to buy Solana. It's one of the ones where you need to be patient. It might be annoying. You might see Solana go up 50%, maybe another 100%, and you think you've missed out, but it can come crashing down just as fast. So if you're in the belief that all those things I've listed off, and also this chart looking fairly bearish, expecting Ethereum to lose its value against Bitcoin another 22%. That means if Bitcoin comes down 20%, Ethereum's going to come down 45%. If you're in the same belief, then if Ethereum comes down, these altcoins are also going to come down with it. This, including XRP, including my favorite coin, it will come down. If you're in that same belief, then you might be able to buy. Then you might want to start looking at buy zones. And the first buy zone for me would be around $15. The next buy zone for me would be around the FTX lows, between $10 and $8. So let's put it somewhere like that. And my last buy zone would be about $5. So I would have these listed off. I'd see how much risk I want to take on. If I don't mind, if I really want to get into a coin, then I might put more in $15. If I don't really mind missing out, but I want to get the best entries on all my coins, then I'll put 20%, 25%, 35% of my allocation to Solana at these areas. But for me, I don't really like to buy a coin that's already gone up 300% from its lows in the bear market, because firstly, I know people are going to take profits, and also I don't think the altcoin market is strong at the moment. I'd love to be in crypto. I'm not very happy not being in crypto, because obviously, I mean, Bitcoin's moved up, and that doesn't make me feel great, because I don't have that much skin in the game. Yes, I do have some skin in the game. I do have some Bitcoin. I do have some XRP. But I've learned from prior cycles to not FOMO in, to be patient, and the best time to buy is when everyone's fearful, when some bad news comes out, or it doesn't even have to be bad news at this point. It's just liquidity. There's no liquidity in the markets, and high risk assets are the first things to follow liquidity. Liquidity is going down, Solana's going up. At one point they will join, and I think it's not liquidity coming back soon. It's going to be these altcoins coming down towards where liquidity is. I might have a way to show you liquidity at the moment. Let's see if we can do this. No, I'll try to show you liquidity next time on the show. But just as an idea, it's coming down, and altcoins are going up. So that's my thoughts on Solana. I wouldn't be buying it now. Yes, technically it might be at a level of resistance where if it breaks through, it does have higher targets. But I'm much happier holding cash than I am any altcoin really, and especially Solana, because it's going up. I mean, I might even feel more comfortable buying ADA, because it's coming down and it's at the lowest levels it has been this bear market. But even then, I'm not buying it, because once we break these levels where we are now, if some bad news comes out, if Bitcoin drops 30% in a day, ADA will quickly come down to different levels, such as somewhere around here, then more likely somewhere around here, and you never know, something like that. So even with ADA, which is at its lows of its bear market, and Solana's up 300% from its lows of its bear market, ADA can still come down 30%, then probably around 50%. So I'm more comfortable buying something like this, but I also think it's coming down 50%. And this is not up to 300%. So that's my thoughts. I mean, Solana, I've said before, I don't look into too much detail. What does this coin do? How great is it? Because it's more about sentiment. It's more about what other people think. It's more about catching on the trend, more about picking the right coins. And one way to do that is to see what the sentiment is to see what the clever people are saying about these coins. Are they saying this is the next Ethereum, which a lot of people with Solana are saying it's a cheaper network, it works better than Ethereum? And if that's the sentiment, it doesn't really matter if the actual coin is doing all of that. And so it's just about what are people thinking? What is the sentiment right now? Is the sentiment layer 2s overtaking Ethereum? Is the sentiment exchange tokens? Is the sentiment AI tokens? Is the sentiment money transfer tokens? Is the sentiment Bitcoin? Is the sentiment of Bitcoin ETF? It's all about the sentiment and where that money starts flowing into, and that's how I choose my coins rather than looking at all the fundamentals of coins. Yes, of course I do. I do like to make sure that they're building. Are they active on Twitter? Are they making upgrades? I like to see, okay, is that a coin that actually is solving a problem? And especially for the lower market cap altcoins like Plutus, like a UK based company, which market cap is something like Plutus. I've been following for years. I've met the CFO or whatever it's called for a coin. It's got a market cap around 10 million. This could be 100 million regarding sentiment. So that's could be a 10x. If it goes down any lower, this could also be. I mean, there's tokens like this. CRO does the basic same thing, but not as good, which is worth billions. So this could be 100x, 1000x token. So I do look at the fundamentals. I do have some, but it's something I'm looking to buy. And maybe it's coming to a level which looks tempting. So I'll look into that. That's when it's more important to look at the fundamentals of a token when it's a smaller market cap and the sentiment doesn't come into it. It's more venture capital or really rich people find it and go, wow, this is an undervalued token, it's doing something well, let me buy some. And then that's when it matters. But if it's a big market cap coin like Solana, then you're looking for the trend, you're looking for the mass market buying into that trend, buying into that hype, and that's how you make money with crypto. So let's welcome everyone in. Martyn was here. Hello, Martyn. Liam Laffey. I answered this question about Solana. I hope that was okay. Ask me any specifics. Are you trying to get out? Are you trying to buy in? Do you own Solana currently? Is it one of your top coins? Tia Roll says, hello there, everyone. Hi, Tia Roll. Senor Polito Holt. Hello, Sensei. Hello, Senor. Tia Roll, applause for impeccable punctuality. Thank you, Tia Roll. And Craig is here and he says, good evening, everyone. So welcome into the show. Please hit the like button if you're here. We do have 20 people watching and I think something like 6 likes. So that's not brilliant. So if we can get that up, that would be brilliant. And let's talk about some more stocks. Let's see what I think about the upcoming week. Firstly, let's look at SBC because we were looking for that short squeeze. We did announce that that's not possible anymore. But let me explain to you again why it wasn't. And where's all my let me do this for a second. So this is the website. We've got the giveaway coming up in 15 minutes. The link is in the chat. So if you do, you can still enter now, and there is some entries you can do. You probably won't have enough time to go back to the last video and get the magic numbers. But what you can do is do all the other entries, for example, the daily bonus. If you've entered a previous competition, it's very easy entries, and we've only got 846 entries, so the chances of winning is very high at the moment. If you look at the newsletter, you can get 50 points, and all these other ones, they're 25 points each. So they're very easy to do, and that will be drawn in about 14 minutes. So do that as soon as possible. Virgin Galactic, I've lost my chart analysis on it, I think, but that doesn't matter. I'm not sure how that's happened. Let's see if it's... Okay, not to worry. Let's go into the daily chart and see what we can see. I'm going to try and find it because I had all my levels of where I wanted to buy SBC. But the level basically was this, which we were very close to breaking, but on the day, which if you were live with me, we were looking to see if we can break 185. We didn't, but we said it's not the biggest problem because if the next day we come break it, then we are still in line to come up to that sort of $2-ish level. It was more of a rectangle if I bring that up as well. It's around there. We didn't get 185, but we said it's fine if the next day we come up and the next day we go sideways and the next day we might break through $2 on Friday. However, the first piece of the puzzle didn't go to plan, which was fine because if the next piece went, it would have been fine, but the next piece didn't. The next piece, we came down from the open, so then you shouldn't be expecting short squeeze anymore, and then we ended Friday here, so it's back in no man's land. It's back towards, are we going to 150 for another entry? There's no trade to be taken here. There's no short squeeze coming up this week. By the looks of things at the moment, we're looking for maybe a re-entry at 150. The resistance now is at 184, which we knew. If you remember, we did have one trade which was from 150 to 184 because we're looking at the W structure. Yes, we got stopped out, but the resistance was still here from the next level at 150 when we got back in. 184 was always the level. So what we're looking for now, there's no trade. It's messy, but it looks like accumulation. We're not breaking down, which is good. It's between 150 and 184. There's no trade. There's no setup. There's no short squeeze that I can identify just by looking at charts right now. So just know that we're probably going to, if we're in a range, that's fine. These are the two levels of the range, about 152 and 184. You might be able to get a couple more trades, shorts at that level, buys at that level. You're at the heart point now, so not much, unfortunately. $2 is always going to be the level to either take a short, take some off the top, or be ready for, if the momentum's there and we blast through $2, then be ready to go to $2.50 really quickly, a 25% move in maybe a day. But we'll cover that as the week goes and as we get more candle information. For the first time, there's not really a trade right now. We're in the middle of two levels. Let's look at Tesla because that had a terrible week. Let's have a look at some of these stocks on the weekly candle. We can have a look at SBC on the weekly candle as well because the weekly candle was formed on Friday and we haven't analysed that. So SBC on the weekly is just another indecision candle, not going anywhere. As you can see, it's just wicked up and down. So another indecision candle, that just means the market doesn't know where it's going, it doesn't know where it's priced in. It does mean it's gone up and the sellers have come back in, so it's not the most bullish thing. I'm expecting probably to come down to 150 again. Let's have another look at Tesla on the weekly. Again, this is something else. I think it was Zaxate who came on the show and said $300 before earnings, and I said, no, we're not even going to get past the last high at 278, and now we're at 211. Yes, we are at some level of support now. This is the 200-day moving average, which is very important. This is the 200-day moving average, so we're approaching that. That's currently sitting at 205. So yes, we can anywhere between the 200 and 210 level, I think, is level of support for Tesla. However, I don't expect it to then start breaking it through 276 now, or now 270. I think we might have a little bounce. And then ultimately, I do believe we're going to start breaking down again and maybe come to levels such as... I've lost every single charts, all my levels for some reason. It's on everything. It's a shame, but it's a chart. It's not going to move. We just have to create the levels, identify the levels again. Anyway, yeah, so I think once we get that bounce off, I think we're ultimately coming down to 167. We might even come down to 150. and then ultimately maybe even 120. That's where I'd love to buy it. There's a lot of these stocks, crypto, any assets. There's a lot of assets that I want to get back into, but I don't want to rush back into it. So my levels might be lower than you guys are happy to buy. For example, I want to buy Tesla at 120. I might buy a small amount at 150, but ultimately I want to buy it at 120. But I also recognize I might not get my entries. Same with crypto. You've seen my low targets for Solana. I said something like $8 or $4 or something like that. It's not the most likely it's going to come down to that level. But that's where I want to buy it. That's where I want to hold it. That's where I think it's the most low risk area. That's where I get the most gains from. And because there's so many different opportunities in the market, there's so many different stocks, there's so many different cryptos. If I plan them out like this, maybe 5%, 10%, I'll get these entries and I'll be happy, because it's those low risk areas, the areas where they've probably capitulated, the areas that I'm happy to buy and I know that there's going to be good returns from. And only if 10% of them are there and it's the stocks and cryptos I like, I'm happy enough, because I've got the best entries I can and I haven't FOMO'd in, I haven't been holding this whole time, and I know I've got a good price for the company or the crypto. Yes, I might be slightly in at different levels because I really want to own it, but my main areas I want to get in might be lower than most people think it's going to go, and most likely it might not go there. But that's where I want to pick it up, and if 10% of those stocks do that and 10% of the cryptos do that, then I've only got so much money. I can't buy everything at all different levels, so it's best to get the stocks I like at the prices I want. And it's okay to miss out on some. So Tilray, we've been looking at. Been saying for a couple of weeks now, we think Tilray is coming down to close this gap at. I have to put all these levels back in at 172. So that's on its way there. It's coming down. So expect that maybe this week, 172 on Tilray. Rocket Lab, again, we had the shorts, which has now disappeared, but let me remind you of what that looked like. This is all will be in previous videos if you ever want to go back and check if I'm just making these up or not. It was a short for Rocket Lab or something like that. We traded it, we bought it here as a capitulation, me and Martyn together. Sold it on the same day because it went up so quickly. So if you're making, I think for me it was 7%. I think for Martyn it was like 15% because he bought in the pre-market and it was at like $404. Anyway, it came up, another buy. We came back into the buy zone on October the 3rd. We closed this gap, which we were looking to close. That was when it capitulated down because of the news of the rocket failing. Went back there and I said very clearly, this is the level to take a short or just get out the position, because you're closing a gap. There's not brilliant news. Now I can even see there's the 200-week moving average came into play, which I didn't see before. That would have been another reason. And it was a very tight stop loss, and it was bringing us to here. Some people took profits earlier, which I said do that, because if you've made, because in the first 3 days of the short position, it was a 15% move down. If you take that on leverage, you probably double your money. So some people took profits at 424, but now it's hit the target and now it's going below the target again. Not really a trade to be taken now. I'd be looking at maybe coming to some sort of support around these levels. You can see that there's support previously around these levels. So if you wanted to accumulate Rocket Lab, then it's between $3, $3.50, somewhere around there. It's better than where we were the other day. Okay, let's keep going through these. Let's bring your comments back on the screen. Tiro, what is more likely for the upcoming week? Continuing downward trend or relief? We'll look at the S&P and we'll try and determine that. Yeah, we'll have a look. Jose says, I can't wait to get back into the market. I got a car. I just need to save enough money to get back in the market now. Well, good luck to you. You've probably made a good decision. Your car, I mean, the markets have gone down and you took your money out the markets at probably a good time. So good luck to you. Hopefully you make some money and you can come back for when the markets are lower. Martyn Lucas Investor Jose, I sent you an email about your giveaway. I have not had a response from you yet. That was supposed to say copy, not call me. I'm not sure what you mean, Jose. I'm not sure what you mean. Excuse me. Let's have a look. Okay, so let's see what other ones it's worth looking at. The weekly close. The weekly close is of course important, but for some reason I've lost all my... See if I can bring them back. No. Just gonna see if there's a way to... Just trying to figure out if there is a way to bring back my... So we're very close to calling the win. Not calling, but let me give you the link again. You've got about 3 minutes to enter if you haven't already. It's $10 giveaway, and it's very, very easy to enter. Let me see if I can get any of these stocks with my... Yeah, that's weird. Okay, maybe we use this browser instead. Let's use this because it's nice to see where our charts are. So what we're looking at currently, if you've just joined, is the weekly candles for a lot of these stocks, which will give us an idea of where they're going and where the general market's going. And again, in about 4 minutes time, we're going to be announcing the winner of the giveaway. We've had a look at SBC, we've had a look at Tesla, we've had a look at Tilray, we've had a look at Rocket Lab. Now we're looking at something like Amazon, which again, it's on its way down. It's very close to my first take profit for the short, which we've been in for a while now. So it'll be nice to get some profits out of this trade. But it finally looks like it's coming down. It's not the best weekly candle. It looks like it can go down. Oh. It looks like it closed at its lows of its week, so that generally means we're probably going to continue. Snapchat, blah, blah, blah. If there's anything specifically you want me to have a look at, let me know. ARK Invest is finally coming. Yeah. If I wanted to be in the markets, I'd probably be buying ARK Invest. Let's have a look at Google. Did that hit a 76? Is that at a retrace level? Yes. Yeah, depending on where you look at it. Let's just take it from its highs to its lows. So below the 786, if no one understands what Fibonacci is, it's these amazing series of numbers which occur all over the world in flowers and anything you look at, the Fibonacci sequence is there. I don't know too much about it, but I know it works. I know I've seen returns on using the Fibonacci tools, and people 200 times cleverer than me have written books and trading books about how it works and how it occurs in everything. So once again, it's like that crypto. I don't know the ins and outs of crypto, but I know the sentiment. I know that this is an important tool in trading, and I use it, and it helps me identify low risk areas. It helps you identify areas that we can reverse, and looking at the Fibonacci tool, you take it from the high to the low. A 78% retrace is normally what we see before a reversal. It's a deep retrace. We normally can do it the other way around, that if the stocks come to this level, it's probably coming back up, but you can do it the other way around, and if the stock's gone all the way to this level, then you can start expecting a reaction at the 78.6% level. And we broke above it. We've never had a weekly candle above it, and once again, this is another reason I was bearish on the S&P when I called the top. Now we're moving back below it on Google, so yeah, so I don't expect a great week for Google. I think that's going to be coming down as well. The Nasdaq again, you can bring up the Fibonacci tool. A lot of them you broke slightly above the 786 and then you started moving down again. So as you can see, we broke above it, but not for long. We came back down, you retested last week, and now you're coming down. So the Nasdaq has already reacted from the 786, so now you're looking at different support and resistance. And you're around one now. The Nasdaq didn't have a great week. It came down about 3%. Apple is coming down. Apple's probably going to be a large one to drop. A lot of these big market cap ones are so high right now. You can see they're nearly at all-time highs. So start imagining If these start rolling over, the biggest companies in the world start rolling over, those stocks that you think you're getting plummeted, I don't know, I just have a feeling that a lot of people have a lot of stocks, and we've seen it ourselves, that are coming down a lot right now. However, these big stocks are still basically at all-time highs, or very close to all-time highs. Nowhere near as down as much as a lot of these stocks that us investors like, that do have high returns, but we are getting crushed with them right now. So imagine if Apple starts rolling over, Microsoft starts rolling over, Google starts rolling over, the whole market's going to be rolling over. It's like Bitcoin rolling over and the altcoins rolling over. Bitcoin hasn't been rolling over, just like Apple, Google, Amazon. But when Bitcoin starts rolling over, the altcoins will start coming down even more. And the altcoins, you can see, have come down a lot. So imagine if Bitcoin starts rolling over, the altcoins are going to come down more. If Apple and Microsoft, for example, start rolling over, which they're starting to look like they are. Look at Microsoft, consecutively lower highs. So expect that to come down this week, or in the next couple of weeks, or the next month. So the trend is forming. The trend is forming to the downside. We have just got the competition to end. So what that means is now it's going to verify all the entries. It's going to, if there's been any scam or multiple entries from the same IP address, it's going to cancel them. So it's fair for everyone. Shopify is coming down. That will come down a fair amount more. Meta has just hit 786 and now it's reversing. So a lot of these have had their deep retraces now. The deep retrace has occurred and now it's the point where it starts reversing. The Russell 200, this is like the altcoin market, it's on the verge of collapse. It is at its final level of support. So if you're in these small market cap companies, this is the 2,000 small companies in the US. So it includes a lot of the smaller market cap ones as well. It gives a better indication of where the market really is. It's at the 2019 highs before the crash. So it is a good level of support, but you can imagine if you start breaking this level of support, what are really the next levels? You can start drawing them out, but then you quickly come to the level being the COVID level lows. So you can start imagining the first level of support is 13-14% down, and the range, you can go all the way down another 42%. So it's important to keep an eye on these. This one hasn't broken to the downside yet, but it's on the verge of breaking down. So one piece of bad news, it's coming down. And now we get onto the S&P, which is obviously the king of the market, the most important to have a look at. Let me have a look at the comments. I still don't understand what Jose meant by that was supposed to say copy, not call me. Copy me, call me, copy me. I don't know when he said that. I can't wait to get back into the market. I got my car and I just need to save enough money to get back into the market now. I don't know what you mean, Jose. Anyway, Liam Laffy says, can we have a look at Hood? Yes, we will. Zach says, hi Sensei, since you said no to my $300 Tesla question, yes, I did say it won't hit $300. I sold all my Tesla shares on and before the earnings. Congratulations to you again. I'm happy you've saved yourself money, but what I say is not financial advice. I don't want you guys making decisions based off what I've said. I just want to give you guys a different perspective, think of it in a different way. I want to share my own experiences, especially with crypto, because that's what I've done. I've made mistakes in the past. With stocks as well, with technical analysis, I look at it. I look at it every day. I've got my own ideas, and I want to sort of teach you how I do my technical analysis. And I'm sure by now you guys can see I are starting to yourself identify different levels, and that's what I really want to do. It's less about me trying to tell you to buy and sell at specific places. It's more what I'm doing with my own money. But thank you for that. I'm happy it's worked out for you, but I'm sure it was your doing, not mine. Let's have a look. Please do hit the like button. I'm trying to see if I can break my Sunday record. We're sitting at 16 likes, 16 watching, so that's brilliant. So if you have just joined, do hit the like button. And if you want to play around for a bit, just please try and do these. They're quite fun. And I see them popping up on my screen, so that'll be fun. Okay, I'm just having a look at the competition page. Let's see if the winner has been announced yet. Let's have a look. And it has. So what we're going to do is firstly put some music on. We're going to announce the winner in 1 minute. So let's say this is exciting. It's going to be one of the last ones for a while until I decide what, because it was mainly to get because I was doing my own show. I wanted to have a bit of excitement, and it was just more of a gift to you guys because of a new show, a new opening. I will be doing more giveaways in the future, maybe with mugs, maybe with more cash. Here we go. So 15 seconds, and we're going to announce the winner. So 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the winner of the last giveaway for a while is George O. George O. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to you. Are you in the chat? Of course, we do still have to verify if you are even in the chat. We can't just give it to you willy-nilly. Martyn will be sending you an email to ask you how you'd like to collect your earnings. Cash App, XRP, Bitcoin is the preferred methods. So please do reply to that email with the best way to contact you. But congratulations to you. If we can all say congrats. Congrats. George. If we can all say that, that'll be very nice. Of course, there's also the option of giving it to one of our charity partners. But it's your money. Decide what you want to do with it. And well done for winning. And thank you for entering, and thank you for everyone for entering. I want to do a lot more, and hopefully everyone has the opportunity, and I hope everyone at one point does win a giveaway. So thank you for entering, and hopefully next time you'll be the winner. But for now, we should congratulate George. So if everyone does that in the chat, that'll be very nice. While we look at the big, one of the most important ETFs in the world, the S&P 500. So again, the S&P 500, the way we identified the top was looking at against the money supply. We identified it's the same top as 2019, 2020 before the crash, 2021, and it was the same last time. So on this chart, is there any support coming up? Not really, maybe a little bit. Broken through it though. The next level support is probably around the moving average. So there's not really any support we're coming up to. So that I'd like to have a look at that chart, because if it predicted the top, it might predict the bottom as well. So nothing significant. It's showing that we can go down further. So let's go back to the main chart and have a look. So as again, as we did say, we were expecting. So if you weren't joining us in the last couple of weeks for the S&P, let me bring this a bit higher. This is how we navigate to the S&P. Firstly, we knew it was coming down. That was already said. Then we broke, parallel channel was drawn. and then we broke below the parallel channel, but we said be careful, this doesn't mean we've broken down, this doesn't mean we're suddenly going a lot lower. We need to wait for follow through. We didn't get the follow through, we broke back up, meaning we're going to come back up significantly. If you break back through a level you've just broken through and haven't had a follow through, then a lot of people get caught out and start shorting, and the shorts, a small amount of short squeeze comes. It's basically just the people that decided to start shorting, they got liquidated very quickly. It's not really a short squeeze, it's just a level. And then we were expected to close this gap at 4,400 at this point. So we were expecting sort of a move of 4%. That didn't occur. We were $7 short, but that's why you always take your profits not at the level. It's always a bit below, so it's not at the target, it's a bit before, because some people like to front run the market. Anyway, at that point we're expected to come back down. We did come back down, and then again we did say this day is going to be bad and we're going to come back to these lows, and this is where the shorts can start coming in. So because we've now, as literally said exactly, we're coming back down to these levels here, and it's important to hold these levels. So Monday, if we start breaking through basically this level, if we start coming down 1%, 0.5% on Monday, then it's getting very dangerous. Then I expect the S&P to, in a matter of a month or so, come down 3% is the first target. And if the S&P comes down 3%, a lot of other stocks are going to come down more. And then at that level is when it starts getting even more dangerous, because you start coming down, you start forming a bear market trend. And then you can start expecting 7, 8%, 16%, but I'm not going to go that far in advance. We're going to be here every week, and I doubt we're going to suddenly come down there by next Sunday, which is my show. I'll also be live every day next week for the closing bell, apart from Wednesday, so we can navigate it through then, so we don't need to look that far in the future. Anything can change. But for now, as soon as we start breaking these lows, I will just put a marker at the lows. We might get a little bounce back to the 200-day moving average, which is sitting at 4,233, and that might indicate an area to take a short, to hedge yourself, to hedge your portfolio if you're long, if you're buying stocks, for example. But it would look something like tight stop losses, or, yeah, something like that. Realistically, something like that. And that's what I expect for the week ahead. But once again, let's see how Monday is. That's if we come down another 0.2%, which we probably will, and start breaking these levels, then yes, I do expect next week to come down. So in the answer to your question, I think it was to your role, I expect most likely we come down, but let's see how Monday is. If we hold these levels and start coming back up on Monday, then maybe it's a relief week. If we start breaking these levels, which is we're very close to, so we probably will. I expect to come down. So this entry is over here. Okay. So we'll have a look and see how that plays out. It's the same with the US 500. The Euro 50 is coming down as well. That's starting to lose support. Berkshire Hathaway, 200-day moving average is its first level of support at 330. Etsy is probably going to, I think the support's not even that valid, because it came down very quickly, and realistically, if the whole market's coming down, then Etsy is not going to find support at these levels, and it's not a trade I want to look into. Corsair Gaming, it's coming down very quickly. Wow, that doesn't look good. Disney, yeah, nothing interesting. Kenvue broke the supply line, but unfortunately we didn't get much follow through. We got a couple of days of a couple of green candles, but let's see how that goes into next week. I mean, stop loss would be around there, so as long as we stay above that, then that's good. Netflix, after its big bounce up, you can expect this to slightly start coming down now. It's had its sudden move up, so this will probably start bleeding again and start closing this gap. So take profits if you've got them. UK 100, I don't really like the UK 100 too much. McDonald's, nice bounce back. Martin did tell us that that would happen. DXY, I said it'll cool off for 2 weeks. How many weeks are we into it now? 1 week. So let's have, maybe next week will be another cooling off, or maybe it would start moving back up. But we're cooling off now. I still expect it to go higher. Lift, Coca-Cola, bounce up again. This is one that Martin brought to our attention by his big buys of Coca-Cola, and it's certainly more of a capitulation event at a level of support, so that might have a bit more of a bounce, and I'm sure Martin will take profits if it hits targets he likes. I mean, if he gets a 6% a week, he's probably going to take profits. J&J at support, it didn't close that badly. It closed above the support, which is good to see, so maybe that's another stock we'll see recover next week. MicroStrategy, I won't be buying that right now. And Hood. So we've just got onto Hood. That was Liam Laffey's suggestion. Okay, so you can see it's held its this level. Not much to report. I think you've requested it. Yeah, it's holding. It was probably going to go back up to $9, about $10, $9.97. That's where the 200-day moving average is. Nothing brilliant to report. I remember I did a more of an in-depth analysis. That's still valid from last time, so please do watch that back. GME making new lows. It's probably going to come all the way down to $9 very quickly, and Coinbase is up. Okay, so that's the stocks covered. How does Coinbase look on the weekly? It's below support. It's probably going to come back down to $45. That's the stock I want to pick up for the in the bear market for the bull run of 2024, 2025. That is when I expect stocks to start coming back. That's when I expect to be over with the recession if we get one. That's when I do believe we're going to get a recession. Even if we don't, liquidity is dry, so stocks and crypto will still come down. So either if we get a recession or not, that will be end of 2024, 2025 is probably when it's going to be a great bull run, in my opinion. And that's, I want to start picking up a lot of stocks in crypto, and the capitulation period is probably going to be within the next 6 months, I believe, especially for crypto, and if the recession comes, then for stocks as well. And that's when I want to buy these. I want to buy Coinbase, I want to buy crypto, I want to buy Tesla. Okay, let's go back and look at gold, see how that's performed this week. Again, something we said a V-shaped recovery is coming, and it came. Now we're looking at this level. This level is very important. As soon as we break this level, we didn't get the weekly candle close above it, so we can start coming down next week. But at one point, I do believe we're going to break this level on gold, and when we do, all-time highs are very close. And once we break all-time highs at about $2,081, it can be it's no man's land. And when we go into price discovery, things can go up very quickly, very fast. To give you a target of where I expect it to go, would be $2,362. That's from the point of breaking out from all-time highs, a move of 14% for gold, which is brilliant. And from the levels we are now, it's a move of 20%. So you could be making 20% on gold while stocks are going down. So that's always something good to consider.
Seth Houston has become a member.
Ah,
I'm finally light blue, smiley face.
brilliant. Thank you, Seth Houston. I'm finally light blue. Amazing. Thank you for joining. I've just realised that my comments aren't working for here, so let me try and refresh this. Congratulations for being a member for a month. Finally light blue, indeed you are. I wonder why this isn't working. Let me try and get this back up. This is always really strange. No, sorry guys, give me 1 minute. What's going on? I'm going to change my browser to Google Chrome. I think Martha suggested that earlier, and I think it's much better than Safari, because I think with this new update, Safari's done something. So what I'm going to do is completely convert my system to just use Google Chrome. Okay, let's put that there.